The sun rose over the red sands of Mars, casting a soft orange glow across the endless desert. Rami adjusted his helmet and wiped the dust from his visor. He had spent years studying ancient Martian maps, and today he believed he would find something extraordinary. Beside him, Nora checked the scanning equipment, her eyes bright with excitement. "Rami, the readings are strong here," she said. "This spot has unusual energy patterns. It is not natural." Rami knelt and brushed away layers of sand with careful hands. A small opening appeared, carved into the rock as if someone had made it many centuries ago. The golden light of the Martian sunrise reflected off strange markings around the entrance. They were not like anything humans had seen before. Rami's heart raced. "This could be the hall mentioned in the old Martian legends," he whispered. "The Pharaoh's Hall of Golden Shadows," Nora smiled. "Then we should go inside, carefully." They switched on their lights and stepped into the chamber. The walls glimmered with gold, catching every beam of their portable lights. Strange symbols ran along the walls in patterns that seemed almost alive. As Rami walked, he noticed that some of the symbols shifted slightly when he looked directly at them. The golden glow felt warm, though the air was cold and thin. "Look at this," Nora said. She pointed to a large panel on the wall. When she touched it, a soft hum filled the chamber. A holographic image appeared, glowing in midair. It showed figures of tall golden beings, their eyes calm but full of knowledge. Rami stepped closer, fascinated. "These must be the guardians of the hall," he said. "They were waiting for someone to find this place." Suddenly, the floor beneath them lit up. Lines of light spread across the hall, forming patterns like a map. Shadows danced along the walls in ways that seemed impossible. Every step they took changed the shapes and designs. Nora tilted her head. "It is as if the hall is alive. It wants us to understand it." Rami nodded slowly. "Or it wants to test us." They explored further, careful not to disturb anything. The chamber opened into a larger hall filled with golden statues. Each statue held a different object, a crystal, a sphere of light, a strange tool that glowed faintly. The walls were covered with inscriptions, but these were not ordinary words. They seemed to tell a story in symbols and light, a story that humans could almost feel rather than read. "This is amazing," Nora whispered. "These beings knew so much about energy, light, and life itself. They left it all here for someone to find." Rami ran his hand along one of the golden walls. The surface was smooth and warm. When he pressed a symbol with his finger, a small door opened in the floor, revealing a spiral staircase leading deeper into the rock. A faint golden mist rose from the steps. "They are guiding us," Rami said. "We have to go down." Nora hesitated. "Are we ready for what is below?" Rami looked at her, determination shining in his eyes. "We will never know unless we take the first step." They descended slowly, the golden mist wrapping around them like a gentle wave. Every step seemed to echo with the whispers of the past. The air smelled faintly sweet, almost like flowers, though nothing grew in the Martian desert. The deeper they went, the warmer the walls became and the golden light grew brighter. At the bottom of the stairs they entered a vast hall. The ceiling soared above them, filled with patterns of light that moved like a living sky. Golden shadows stretched across the floor, shifting and changing with their movements. It felt as if the hall could see them, understand them, and watch their every action. Rami breathed deeply. "We have found it, Nora. The Pharaoh's Hall of Golden Shadows. Everything here is waiting to be discovered." Nora smiled, her eyes wide. "And it is just the beginning. I can feel that there are secrets buried deeper in the light. Secrets that could change everything we know about humans and this universe." Rami nodded. He felt a thrill of excitement mixed with respect. This hall was more than a discovery. It was a challenge, a mystery, and a promise of knowledge far beyond what humans had ever imagined. As they took their first careful steps into the heart of the hall, the golden shadows moved around them, welcoming them into a story that had been waiting for centuries to be told. The adventure had begun, and nothing would ever be the same again. Rami and Nora paused at the center of the hall, their eyes tracing the golden shadows that stretched across the floor. The patterns shifted with every movement, like the hall was alive and watching them. Nora reached out and a soft hum filled the air, vibrating through their bodies. "Do you hear that?" she whispered. "It feels like it is speaking to us without words." Rami nodded, feeling the same strange energy. "I think the hall has guardians," he said. "Not living beings, but something created to protect the secrets inside." As they moved forward, golden figures began to appear. They shimmered in the light, tall and majestic, with calm faces and hands held in gestures of knowledge. Rami stepped closer, feeling a strange connection to them. When he touched the edge of one figure, it shifted slightly as if acknowledging his presence. "These are not ordinary statues," he said. "They were made to test who enters the hall." Nora's eyes widened. "Test us? What kind of test?" Before Rami could answer, a soft voice filled the hall. It was not from a person, but from the hall itself. The words were clear and calm, echoing in their minds rather than through the air. "Seekers of knowledge, your hearts and minds will guide you. Only those who are brave, wise, and united may pass." Rami exchanged a look with Nora. "It is giving us a warning and a challenge," he said. "We have to prove ourselves to understand its secrets." They moved carefully through the hall, following the glowing paths of golden light. The floor beneath them was smooth, but the patterns shifted as they stepped. Shadows grew taller, then shorter, reflecting their movements and choices. At one corner, Rami noticed a strange mechanism on the wall, a set of panels with lights that blinked in sequence. "Maybe it is a puzzle," he said. "If we can solve it, we might go deeper." Nora knelt beside the panels and studied them. The lights follow a pattern based on the hall's energy. If we align them with the shadows, the path may open. Rami adjusted the lights carefully, matching the shapes and angles of the shadows on the floor. When the last light clicked into place, a door slowly slid open, revealing a staircase descending into darkness. A warm golden glow spilled from below, inviting them to continue. As they walked down the stairs, they felt a sense of calm and focus. The hall seemed to respond to their confidence and cooperation. Nora held Rami's hand briefly to steady herself, and in that moment they understood part of the test. It was not only about knowledge, but also about trust and unity. At the bottom of the stairs, they entered a chamber filled with strange objects. Some looked like tools, others like glowing crystals, and some like small machines with moving parts. Each item reflected light in a way that made shadows dance along the walls. "These objects are more than decoration," Rami said. "They are part of the hall's test. Maybe each one teaches something about energy and balance." Nora picked up a small crystal. The light inside pulsed gently in her hand. She felt a wave of understanding, as if the hall was giving her a hint. "This crystal is connected to the hall's energy. We have to use it wisely to continue." Suddenly, the golden figures moved. They were no longer still. Their forms shimmered and projected images of past seekers, humans who had tried to enter the hall long ago. Some had failed, their shadows fading, while others had passed, their figures merging with the golden light. Rami realized that the hall was showing them a history of tests. It is teaching us through example. We have to learn from those who came before and make better choices. Nora nodded, her eyes shining. "We must be careful, but we must also be brave. The hall is giving us the chance to grow, not just to take knowledge." They explored the chamber, learning to move the crystals and objects in harmony with the shadows. Each correct movement made the light stronger, and each mistake caused the shadows to twist in warning. The hall responded to their thoughts and intentions as much as their actions. Hours passed, yet Rami and Nora felt no fatigue. The hall's energy seemed to support them, guiding them toward understanding. They discovered that the golden figures were not just guardians, but teachers, offering lessons in perception, teamwork, and patience. At the far end of the chamber, a larger door appeared. It glowed with a soft golden light, more brilliant than anything they had seen before. Rami and Nora exchanged a look, their hearts racing with excitement and curiosity. "This is it," Rami said quietly. "The next level of the hall. Whatever is beyond that door holds the real secrets of the Pharaoh's Hall of Golden Shadows." Nora smiled. "Then we step forward together. The hall will see that humans can be brave, smart, and united. It will see that we are ready." As they placed their hands on the door, the golden light flared and the shadows around them danced with life. The hall had acknowledged their courage and a new path was opening. Rami took a deep breath. "Let's see what lies ahead. We are not just visitors anymore. We are part of the hall's story." The door slowly opened and a brilliant corridor stretched before them, bathed in golden light. The journey deeper into the hall had begun, and the secrets of light and shadow were waiting to be discovered. Rami and Nora stepped into the corridor, their boots making soft echoes on the polished floor. The walls glowed with golden light, and shadows stretched and twisted in ways that made the chamber feel alive. Each step they took caused the shadows to move, forming new shapes that seemed to guide them forward. "This hall is teaching us through light and shadow," Rami said. "We need to watch carefully and understand the patterns." Nora studied the shadows closely. "They are like a puzzle. The way they change tells us something. If we make the wrong move, it might close the path." As they walked, they reached a wide open space. The floor was covered with golden symbols and beams of light shone from the walls. When they stepped on certain symbols, the shadows moved differently, forming paths toward different doors. Each door had a unique pattern above it, glowing faintly. Rami knelt to examine the symbols. "I think each door represents a challenge. We have to choose carefully and follow the path that tests our courage and wisdom." Nora nodded. "Then we should start with the door that calls to both of us." A door on the left seemed to glow warmer than the others. Golden shadows danced toward it as if inviting them. They stepped forward, and as they crossed the threshold, the hall responded. The shadows stretched high, forming the shapes of ancient guardians. Their eyes glowed softly, observing the humans as they moved. The chamber beyond was filled with floating light spheres. Some moved slowly, others darted quickly. The shadows cast by the spheres created patterns on the walls and floor. Rami realized that the shadows were showing hidden paths. "We have to follow the shadows, not just the light," he said. "The hall wants us to think carefully and act together." Nora extended her hand toward a slowly moving sphere. The shadow on the floor shifted and revealed a narrow passage. "This way," she said. As they moved through the passage, another test appeared. A group of crystals floated in the air, their surfaces reflecting golden light. Each crystal showed a faint image of a different part of the hall. The shadows beneath the crystals formed symbols that seemed to tell a story. Rami studied them. "The hall is showing us lessons from the past. Each symbol is a challenge we must solve. We have to understand the meaning before we proceed." Nora touched one of the crystals and it glowed brighter. The shadows shifted, revealing a new pattern. "We need to align the crystals with the shadows," she said. "Only then will the door open." Working carefully, Rami and Nora moved the crystals, watching the shadows on the floor. Every correct placement made the light grow stronger, and the golden figures shimmer with approval. Every mistake caused the shadows to twist, warning them to try again. Hours passed, yet they felt no tiredness. The hall seemed to give them energy, supporting their focus and teamwork. Each challenge tested not only their intelligence but also their patience and cooperation. At one point, Rami noticed a shadow that did not match the others. It was darker, stronger, and seemed to respond to his thoughts. He stepped closer and realized it was reflecting his own fears: fear of failure, fear of not understanding, fear of letting the hall down. "I have to face this," Rami said aloud. He focused on the pattern of the shadow, controlling his thoughts and clearing his fear. Slowly, the shadow softened and became part of the guiding shapes on the floor. Nora smiled. "You passed the test. The hall shows us not only knowledge but also understanding of ourselves." They reached the far end of the chamber where a large golden door awaited. Above it, the shadows formed a crown of light, bright and welcoming. Rami placed his hand on the door, and a soft vibration ran through the hall. The door opened to reveal a wider space, filled with more symbols, crystals, and light beams. "This hall is endless," Nora whispered. "Each part is a test, a lesson, and a challenge. It is like it is alive, learning about us as we learn about it." Rami looked at the shadows stretching across the room. "It wants to see how humans think, how we solve problems, and how we work together. If we succeed, we will understand secrets no one has known for centuries." Nora walked beside him, carefully stepping on the symbols that guided their path. "It also teaches patience. Every action has a result. Every choice changes the pattern. We have to move carefully and thoughtfully." The shadows continued to shift as they moved deeper, forming images of golden beings watching over them. Each step brought new insight. Rami felt a growing sense of connection, not only to the hall but to humanity itself. He understood that humans had the courage and creativity to face challenges far beyond their own world. At the end of the chamber, the hall opened into another corridor. The golden light was brighter and the shadows more defined. They felt a sense of calm and purpose as they prepared for the next challenge. Rami turned to Nora. "We are learning more than I ever imagined. The hall tests our minds, but it also teaches us to trust ourselves and each other." Nora nodded. "And if we keep going, we will discover the true secrets of the Pharaoh's Hall of Golden Shadows." Together, they stepped into the corridor, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead, their minds open, their courage steady, and their teamwork stronger than ever. The journey through the hall had only just begun, and the mysteries of light and shadow awaited them with every step. Rami and Nora stepped carefully into the next chamber. The walls glowed brighter than before, and golden symbols covered every surface. The shadows on the floor moved like rivers, flowing in patterns that seemed to tell a story. Rami felt a strange sense of familiarity, as if he had seen these shapes before in dreams or old legends. "Look at these symbols," Rami said. "They are different from the ones we saw earlier. They feel older, more historical." Nora bent down to examine the walls. "I think they are showing us the past. The hall wants to teach us about those who built it and how they connected with humans long ago." As they walked deeper, holographic images appeared in the golden light. Figures of humans from ancient times moved among the golden beings. They worked together, building structures, studying energy, and learning to use light in ways Rami could not fully understand. "They knew humans a long time ago," Rami whispered. "These beings must have guided our ancestors, teaching them knowledge that helped humanity grow." Nora reached out to touch one of the holograms. The image of a human lifted its hand, and a soft voice echoed in their minds. "We watched, we guided, we shared knowledge. Only those who could understand light and shadow could follow the path to wisdom." Rami looked around in awe. This hall is not just a place of tests. It is a record of human potential. It shows that we have always had the ability to grow and learn beyond what we imagined. They moved forward, discovering artifacts scattered across the floor. Some looked like early human tools, but they were clearly more advanced than anything from Earth's history. Crystals hummed with energy, and small machines reflected golden light in patterns that made the shadows dance. "These artifacts connect humans to the builders of the hall," Nora said. "It is proof that we were never alone in our learning. Someone or something guided us quietly." Rami picked up a small golden sphere. As he held it, he saw visions of humans from different eras studying, experimenting, and discovering new ways to use energy. The sphere showed not just the past, but also the choices humans had made. Every decision, every act of courage or curiosity shaped the path forward. "This is incredible," Rami said. "The hall is showing us that humans have always had the potential to reach greatness. We just need to understand it and use it wisely." Nora nodded. "It also explains why the hall tests us. It wants to see if we are ready to handle the knowledge it holds. The past shows what humans can do, but the hall wants to see what we will do next." They continued through the chamber and reached a large golden door. Above it, symbols formed a map of the stars. Light beams from the ceiling connected planets, moons, and distant suns. The hall was showing a cosmic history, suggesting that the golden beings had observed not only Earth but the entire solar system. Rami traced the lines with his finger. They were aware of the universe. They studied it, and they connected that knowledge to humans. Perhaps they were preparing us for something greater. Nora's eyes widened. "Do you think this means humans can travel farther, learn faster, and understand more than we thought possible?" Rami smiled. "Yes. The hall is teaching us that we are capable of more than we imagine. Our curiosity, courage, and intelligence are our greatest strengths. We just need to believe in ourselves and work together." As they stepped through the door, they found themselves in a circular chamber. Golden light filled the room, and the shadows on the floor formed moving images of humans learning from the golden beings. Each shadow told a story of cooperation, patience, and discovery. Rami realized that the hall was more than a challenge. It was a teacher, showing humanity's past and guiding them toward a brighter future. The lessons were clear. Intelligence alone was not enough. Humans needed courage, trust, and the ability to work together to unlock their full potential. Nora placed her hand on one of the golden walls. The light responded, flowing around her like a river. "We are part of this story now," she said softly. "The hall has chosen us to continue what humans started long ago." Rami nodded. "And we must honor that responsibility. The knowledge here is powerful, but it also teaches us humility. We are part of a long line of seekers and learners." The shadows shifted, forming a glowing path forward. It was clear that the next chamber would hold even greater lessons. Rami and Nora exchanged a determined look. Together they would continue through the hall, learning from the past and preparing to face the challenges ahead. As they walked toward the glowing path, Rami felt a sense of purpose stronger than ever. The Pharaoh's Hall of Golden Shadows was not just a place of tests and puzzles. It was a bridge between the past and the future, a reminder that humanity's potential was limitless when guided by courage, wisdom, and light. The echoes of the past whispered around them, and Rami knew that the next steps would reveal secrets that could change everything humans thought they knew about themselves and the universe. Rami and Nora stepped into a new chamber that felt different from the others. The walls shimmered with golden light, and beams of energy moved in gentle curves across the floor. The shadows now seemed to form a pattern like a map. It was no longer just a puzzle or a test. It felt like a key to understanding something far greater. "Look at this," Rami said. He pointed to a series of mirrors and panels along the walls. "These reflect the light and create the shadows. If we arrange them properly, we might activate the chamber's full power." Nora studied the mirrors carefully. "The hall is asking us to think about energy and direction. It wants us to align the light in a certain way. If we do it correctly, we may see the secrets it protects." They began to adjust the panels slowly, moving them to catch the golden beams and direct the light across the floor. As they worked together, the shadows shifted, revealing hidden symbols that glowed brighter when the light fell on them. Every correct alignment caused the chamber to hum softly, a warm vibration that filled the room. Rami noticed a crystal in the center of the room. When he placed it in the path of the light, it split the beam into smaller rays that danced across the walls. The shadows formed complex shapes, almost like a code waiting to be read. "It responds to our actions," Rami said. "The hall is showing us that humans can create and control energy with thought and care." Nora smiled. "We are learning from the hall, but we are also teaching ourselves. Every movement we make matters." As they continued, a holographic map appeared in the golden light. It showed stars, planets, and distant galaxies. Lines of energy connected them like threads, and symbols floated along the paths. Rami realized that the hall was teaching advanced methods of harnessing energy, communication, and even faster movement across space. "This knowledge is incredible," he said. "If humans understand this, we could travel farther and learn faster than ever before." Nora nodded. "But it is also a test. The hall wants to see if we can use it wisely. Knowledge without care can be dangerous." They worked for hours, arranging panels and crystals to reflect the golden light perfectly. Slowly, the energy network of the chamber began to activate. Light spiraled through the walls and ceiling, forming a web of golden beams that filled the room with warmth and brilliance. Shadows danced in harmony, creating patterns that Rami and Nora could read like a language. At the center of the chamber, a large crystal sphere began to float. Its light pulsed in rhythm with the hall's energy. Rami and Nora could see images within it, humans learning, exploring, and creating across time. The hall was showing them what humanity could achieve when intelligence and courage were combined with care and cooperation. "This is what the hall has been preparing us for," Rami said softly. "It is giving us the tools and knowledge, but it also shows the responsibility that comes with it." Nora touched the crystal sphere, and a wave of energy passed through her. She could see possible futures for humanity: cities powered by light, ships traveling across the stars, and people working together to explore the universe. Each vision was bright and full of promise, but some showed failure when humans misused energy or ignored wisdom. Rami looked at her. "The hall wants to see if we can handle this knowledge. If we succeed, humans will be ready to grow and reach their true potential." With careful movements, they aligned the final mirrors. The golden beams converged on the crystal sphere, and the chamber filled with light brighter than anything they had ever seen. The shadows disappeared, leaving only a warm glow that seemed to fill every corner of the hall. Rami and Nora stepped back, feeling the power of the energy network. It was alive, responsive, and beautiful. They realized that this knowledge was more than just science. It was a way for humans to understand themselves and the universe, a combination of thought, courage, and cooperation that could guide them to greatness. "This is the gift of the Pharaoh's Hall of Golden Shadows," Rami said. "It shows humans what we are capable of when we work together and use our minds wisely." Nora nodded. "And it reminds us that knowledge is never just for one person. It is for all of humanity, but only if we act with care and responsibility." As they left the chamber, the golden light followed them, guiding their steps. The hall had shared its energy secrets, and Rami and Nora felt stronger, wiser, and more determined. They knew that the next chambers would challenge them in new ways, but they were ready. The Pharaoh's Hall of Golden Shadows was no longer a mystery. It had begun to teach them, step by step, how humans could reach their highest potential using light, courage, and wisdom as their guide. Rami and Nora stepped into a new chamber. The golden light was softer here, and shadows moved slowly across the walls. The hall felt calm yet serious, as if it was watching them more closely than before. A sense of purpose filled the air. "Look at this room," Nora said. "It feels different. Not like a puzzle or a challenge. It feels like a choice is waiting for us." Rami nodded. "The hall has taught us how to solve problems, how to work with energy, and how to understand the past. Now it wants to see what kind of humans we are." At the center of the chamber floated a golden platform. On it rested a crystal cube that pulsed with soft light. Around the cube, shadows formed images of people, cities, and planets. Some showed humans working together to create amazing things. Others showed humans misusing knowledge, causing harm and conflict. Nora stepped closer, her hand trembling slightly. "It is showing us the future. Our actions matter. The choices we make will shape everything." Rami studied the cube. "The hall wants to know if we can handle the knowledge it gave us. It is testing not our minds, but our hearts. We have to choose wisely." As they reached out to touch the cube, golden figures appeared around them. They were taller and brighter than before, guardians of the hall who had been observing every step. Their faces were calm, and their eyes seemed to see into Rami and Nora's thoughts. "Seekers of light," a gentle voice spoke in their minds. "You have learned the ways of energy, wisdom, and cooperation. Now you must show that you are ready to use knowledge responsibly. Choose carefully, for the hall watches all choices." Rami looked at the images in the shadows. He saw humans exploring the stars, building cities powered by light and creating peace and understanding. But he also saw humans using energy for selfish purposes, harming others and failing to work together. The consequences were clear. Nora reached for his hand. "We have to think not just about ourselves. We must think about all humans. The hall is testing our ability to act for the greater good." Rami took a deep breath. "We have learned so much. We know that knowledge can be powerful, but it must be guided by wisdom and care. That is our choice. We will use this knowledge to help humanity, not harm it." The shadows shifted in response. Golden light flowed around the chamber, and the cube began to rise. Images of humans working together and helping each other grew brighter. The darker images faded, showing that the hall recognized their choice. Nora smiled. "It accepted our decision." "We passed the final test," Rami nodded. "The hall has shown us that intelligence alone is not enough. Courage, teamwork, and responsibility matter even more. Humans are capable of greatness if we act wisely." The golden figures bowed slightly, their light blending with the shadows. A warm vibration filled the chamber, and the platform with the crystal cube began to rise. Golden beams of light spread across the walls, forming a pattern that seemed to connect the past, present, and future. "The hall is rewarding us," Nora said softly. "It shows that humans can be trusted with knowledge, but only when we make choices guided by wisdom and care." Rami stepped forward and touched the rising cube. Instantly, a wave of light passed through the chamber. He could feel the energy of the hall, the knowledge of the golden beings, and the potential of humanity flowing together. It was a powerful, beautiful feeling. "This is what the hall wanted us to understand," Rami said. "We are not just visitors. We are participants in something much larger. Humanity's future depends on our courage, choices, and unity." Nora looked around the chamber. "It is teaching us that every person matters. Every decision we make affects not only ourselves but the entire human race." The hall seemed to hum in agreement. The golden light filled every corner, and the shadows became gentle guides showing pathways forward. Rami and Nora understood that the final lesson was clear. Knowledge without responsibility was dangerous, but knowledge used with care, courage, and cooperation could elevate humans beyond anything they had imagined. They stepped back from the cube, feeling a sense of calm and clarity. The hall had tested their minds, their courage, and their hearts. They had passed. Humans were ready for the secrets of the golden beings. Rami and Nora exchanged a look of determination. "We will take this knowledge," Rami said, "and we will use it to help humanity grow, explore, and achieve greatness." Nora nodded. "The Pharaoh's Hall of Golden Shadows has shown us what humans are capable of. It has given us a gift, and it is up to us to honor it." As they walked toward the exit of the chamber, the golden light followed them, guiding their steps. The hall had revealed its final test, and Rami and Nora had proven that humans could be trusted to handle its knowledge with care. The journey was almost complete, and the hall had prepared them for the last step, sharing the light and wisdom with the rest of humanity. Rami and Nora stepped out of the last chamber, feeling a sense of calm and purpose. The golden light followed them, filling the hall with warmth and brilliance. They had faced the puzzles, learned the lessons of the past, and proven their courage and wisdom. Now the hall itself seemed to acknowledge their achievement. "Do you feel it?" Nora whispered. "The hall is alive, but it is happy with us." "We passed all the tests," Rami nodded. "It is more than that. We have learned what humans are truly capable of. The hall has shown us that intelligence, courage, and cooperation can create a future brighter than we ever imagined." As they walked toward the central chamber, the hall began to shift. Golden walls moved gently, opening to reveal a massive space filled with light. At the center, a glowing platform rose from the floor. On it, the crystal sphere they had seen before now shone brighter than ever, radiating energy in every direction. The hall spoke once more, softly in their minds. Humans have proven themselves. They have learned from the past, understood the present, and made choices guided by wisdom. Now they are ready to step into the future. The secrets of light are theirs to share and use responsibly. Rami and Nora stepped forward together. As their hands touched the crystal, beams of golden light shot upward, spreading across the hall and through openings in the walls. Outside, in the Martian desert, the sunlight reflected from the golden entrance and sent bright beams across the sky. It was visible for miles, a beacon of hope and discovery. Nora smiled. "Everyone will see this. It is a sign that humanity is ready to take its place among the stars." Rami felt a thrill of excitement. The hall has not only given us knowledge, it has given us purpose. The energy, the understanding of light, the lessons of courage and cooperation, they are all part of what humans can achieve. The shadows in the hall now moved in harmony with the golden light, forming patterns that told a story of humanity's potential. Rami and Nora could see visions of the future, humans exploring distant planets, creating cities powered by light, and working together to understand the universe. Every vision was bright, full of hope, and guided by the principles they had learned in the hall. "This is more than a discovery," Rami said. "It is a gift and a responsibility. The hall has entrusted humans with knowledge that can change everything, but only if we act wisely." Nora looked at him, her eyes shining. "We have to share this carefully, teach others to use it for the good of all, and continue learning ourselves. The hall's lessons are not just for us. They are for every human who will follow." As they moved toward the exit, the golden light seemed to embrace them, guiding each step. They could feel the energy of the hall flowing through them, giving them confidence, clarity, and strength. It was as if the hall itself was whispering encouragement. Humans are capable, humans are strong, and humans can achieve greatness. Outside, the Martian sky was bright with the reflected golden light. Rami and Nora looked around at the vast desert and the golden entrance. It seemed impossible that this hidden hall had existed unnoticed for so long. Yet now, humanity had a new symbol of courage, knowledge, and hope. "The Pharaoh's Hall of Golden Shadows will inspire generations," Rami said. "It shows that even in darkness humans can find light, wisdom, and strength." Nora smiled. "And it reminds us that every choice matters. Every action shapes the future. We are not alone in the universe, and the hall has shown us how to step forward responsibly." Rami took a deep breath. "We have the chance to guide humanity to a new age. With what we learned, we can explore further, learn faster, and work together to create a better future." Nora nodded. "We will honor the hall. We will use its knowledge for peace, discovery, and progress. This is just the beginning." As they looked at the golden light fading into the Martian horizon, they felt a sense of pride and determination. The hall had taught them that humans are capable of extraordinary things when guided by courage, wisdom, and cooperation. The golden shadows in the hall would continue to shine, waiting for future seekers. But for now, Rami and Nora stepped forward, carrying the lessons of the past, the knowledge of light, and the promise of a new age for humanity. The Pharaoh's Hall of Golden Shadows had completed its final test. Humanity was ready, and the dawn of a new age had begun. Light, knowledge, and courage would guide humans to explore the universe, discover new worlds, and reach their true potential. And as the golden rays touched the desert, Rami and Nora knew that the story of humanity had changed forever.